Well, good morning. Welcome once again to the Uptown Westerville Saturday Farmers Market. Kale can be very delicious if you know how to treat it, and I'm going to show you how to treat it this morning, okay? We're going to be making a wilted kale salad with a warm tomato vinaigrette. I have a lot of ingredients assembled in front of me, but the most important one is right here in this pan, okay? As I have a pan over an induction range heating up right here. And no, this is not olive oil. No, this isn't vegetable oil. This is bacon fat. Yes. Every good salad begins with bacon, does it not? Now, if I were making this from scratch, I would actually take raw bacon and chop it up and brown it in the pan, and then pull the bacon bits out of there, leaving the reserved bacon grease in the pan. But in order to have a little bit of magic of television, I went ahead and browned off the bacon yesterday, for those who watched that show online yesterday during my live Q&A. So this is some of the reserved liquid gold right here, the bacon fat that was reserved from crisping up the bacon. And we're going to use that as a cooking medium to begin this delicious tomato vinaigrette. So get that sizzle going. We have a little bit of yellow onion. So again, we're using the reserved bacon grease from crisping up the bacon and using that as a cooking medium for the other ingredients in the salad. That way nothing goes to waste. And if you know anything about me, you'll know that my first cardinal rule is you do not throw away flavor. Now to those onions, I'm going to add another dish that's seasonal in Ohio right now. Any guesses as to what this might be? This is actually green garlic. So what this is for people who grow garlic. Sometimes there are some bulbs, and it is a bulb like a tulip, that don't sprout really well or aren't going to form a full bulb. And so this is actually a thinning of the garlic patch. And you can cook with it just like you could with green onion. Okay? So I have chopped up that green garlic, and I'm going to throw that in here with the onions to give it a really nice garlic flavor. To that, as I typically like to do with my tomato sauces, I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper just to give it a little bit of spice. Not too much, just a little bit. And we're going to sweeten things up with a little bit of brown sugar. That'll help the onions to caramelize a little bit as well, and it'll help to bring out a little bit of the natural flavor from the tomato product. So just a little bit. All right, got a nice color on those onions and garlic. You can smell that flavor coming out of the pan already. All right, to that we're going to add a couple of containers of crushed tomatoes. Now, it just wouldn't be a kale salad without kale. And unlike the other kale salads that I've done for other demonstrations, this one's going to be slightly different in the fact that we're not actually going to be wilting the kale in the pan itself. We're actually going to be wilting the kale by taking the hot vinaigrette and pouring that over top of the kale. But before we do that, we're going to apply a little bit of a massage to the kale. That's it. We're just going to squeeze those greens, and what that does is begins the softening process, because raw kale like this can be a little bit tough, a little woody, fibrous, and just by giving it a little massage like this, it begins to break down those cells, breaks down the cellulose in the kale itself, and begins to soften it, and even start to bring out some of the natural sweetness. Now, for a little bit of texture and even a little bit of bite, we're going to add some sliced radish. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking, I don't like radishes, but I tell you what, this is the second time I've done this demonstration today, and I had quite a few people come and tell me, hey Kibby, we don't like radish, but we love this salad. So there you go. I'm just doing my due diligence for y'all today and showing you that maybe sometimes you think you don't like it, maybe you just haven't had it prepared the right way. Okay? And this is the right way. I mean, after all, I did start with bacon fat, didn't I? Right? Now, I did call this a vinaigrette, and if you'll notice, we haven't put any vinegar in it yet. So it's really hard to call it a vinaigrette without any vinegar. So I like to put a nice, really robust vinegar in this, and for that, of course, I'm going to use balsamic vinegar. That'll add a little bit of another layer of acid and a little bit of that rich umami flavor to the tomato sauce. So now we'll move the camera back over so you can see what's going on here. We have the beautiful kale and the radishes. The vinaigrette is ready. And so we're going to pour this warm, almost like it's like a pasta sauce, really. A really quick pasta sauce. And we're going to pour that over top of the kale and the radishes. And again, combined with the little massage, the little squeeze we put on that kale, is really going to soften it and bring out some of the natural sweetness that's just been hiding in there the whole time. Why were you hiding there? All right, I'm going to grab some tongs so we can toss that together. That way all of the kale is getting in contact with that delicious vinaigrette. Now, there's one thing that this salad is still missing. Bacon! Give that man a cigar, or at least a sample of kale salad. I didn't bring the cigars, I'm sorry. It ain't that kind of farmer's market. All right, so we have the crisp bacon that we started with from the very beginning. Save the best for last. Kale, radish, bacon, all things that you can find right here at the Uptown Westerville Saturday Farmers Market. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and if you're still going to be around in another half hour, 45 minutes, we'll be back to show you some Japanese food using local mushrooms. All right, so I will see you then. Cut cameras, and let's start eating.